I'm Dr. Judy, and this is, well, in my opinion. Today we're asking the questions, have you cheated, and would you forgive a cheater?
I don't necessarily think I would be okay with someone cheating on me or cheating on someone, but I've already experienced it in my short life, so I kind of almost feel like it's something that everybody goes through.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be normal, because I feel that if there's something is lacking in a relationship, you're gonna go find that
Exactly.
lacking. It's
Okay.
like we're trying to make ourselves happy here.
Let me ask you, have you ever experienced being cheated on, or have you cheated on someone before?
Yeah, so I've experienced it as well too, and
Both sides?
yes,
Okay.
and the way I feel is I couldn't blame anyone but myself,
Right.
right? Because if my significant other is going out to find something that's out there, then I did something wrong, right? I did not please the 100% that I should have done. So it's in technically, if anybody cheats on somebody, it's technically that person's fault, because why are they not doing whatever they can to keep
that person. I can
Exactly.
understand that. It's kind of something that you have to go through in order to realize your own self-worth. I'm not saying everybody needs to be cheated on, but I have became such a better bitch because I leveled up,
Yes,
grew from the experience.
You leveled up as like a game,
Yeah.
because it is all just a game. Society tells us what is and what is not right. That's not your actual feelings.
1000%. I agree with you
Let's
on
say
that
you
too.
grew up in the woods, you didn't know any better. You
Right.
know, maybe you just had a Bible next to you that says, "Go out and prosper." Go make life. That's
Right.
really what it said down and do. It didn't say, "Hey, take hold one person."
Right,
That's when the Tower of
exactly.
Babel came about. To
I
make people
mean,
separate.
For me personally, I kind of went through that situation where my boyfriend was hooking up with other people, not necessarily emotionally, more so physically. So it did hurt me a lot because I didn't necessarily understand where it was coming from, and I was young. Like, I keep saying I had to go through it. Like, you don't
But
really.
when you're young, it's a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different ball game.
There's
'Cause you're so
there's
naive.
possessions. You're like, hey, you can't go here, you can't go there. I don't want you over there. Not until I hit my mid-20s and that I went through all that bullshit.
Right.
That I was like, it's like, oh my God, that's way too much stress.
Right.
You're going to work like, hey, you out there fucking.
I experienced the situation where my boyfriend was like hooking up with people physically, not necessarily emotionally, and it did hurt me because I didn't process it as a physical need, because he needs to, do what he needs to do. And I was either going to be okay with it or, move on. And eventually I had to move on. But I feel like now, if I were to enter a relationship like that, I would kind of be okay with him sleeping with other people if it wasn't an emotional attachment. Like, I don't want you taking him everywhere we go. I don't want you to go shopping at the same thrift stores. I don't want to see you doing the same stuff. If you want to hook up with him while you're on vacation and we're thousands of miles away and I'm busy building my empire and you're doing your thing, then so be it. I have no control over that. And I feel like I've finally come to that point in my life where I'm like, I'm done trying to control everything.
Once you get down to the coexisting part, it doesn't matter. When you're with me, you're with me. When I'm not with you, we're not with you.
Right.
And that can go, throughout the whole thing, whether she's out cheating and doing whatever she's doing out there. If I don't know about it, who cares?
Do I think it's right to cheat on someone? No. Do I think it's something that everybody goes through? Yes. Do I think it's okay? No. Do I think it helps you grow? Yes. Have I? Not necessarily.
45% of men and 35% of women have admitted to having emotional affairs at some point in their life. Surprisingly, one study found that 88% of women were far more concerned about their husband cheating emotionally than they were about them cheating physically.
I've never cheated on anyone, but like with one relationship, it depends on who you ask. Because where I think we were on a break, but if you were to ask him, then no, I cheated on him.
Why?
Because
Does he
we
think that?
broke up that day in my head. We were done.
Yeah.
And
And he
then-
thought it was like well, let's get back and talk later.
So then I went out that night and met up with, someone I had been interested in. And, I made out with him. And then the next morning I woke up and I had a voicemail from my recent ex and he's like, I can't believe we got in this fight yesterday. I love you. I'm so sorry. Like, we're gonna, build on top of this and make our relationship better. I'm
no.
like, for me, the reason why I do not cheat on anyone is because the in the moment gratification isn't worth the long-term feelings of guilt in my mind. And so I had to tell him because I can't keep a secret like that in.
Mhm.
And then it just ruined
Hit the
everything.
fan. Oh, that's awful.
I was like, but we were on a break.
Oh, that sucks. And he was pissed, I'm sure.
He was upset.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I've never cheated because I'm like too honest. Like to the point in relationships, like I'm so honest with them that I'll say things that I'm like, I really don't like this about you. And where it's like, I should just shut up. And so if I cheated, I would just immediately be like, I cheated.
Yeah.
So every time I've wanted to cheat in a relationship, I've just ended the relationship.
I hate the age-old expression of
Once a cheater, always.
once a cheater, always a cheater, because I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I know people who are so different than that.
100%. We're always evolving in
Right.
terms of romance and relationships. And I have friends who I've been friends with for a really long time, and I've watched them grow into a completely different person in their relationship now than what
Yeah.
they were back then. So
Absolutely.
I think that there is a level of like forgiveness in cheating. I think it just depends on the extent. Was it a one-night stand or was it a
Are
full-blown...
you having a whole relationship with someone else?
Yeah, because the one-night stand thing, I think I would be able to forgive it under the right circumstances. I have a girlfriend who found out that her dad had an entire family in Idaho that nobody knew about.
Oh my God.
So now he's married, he lives in Idaho and he's married to that woman, but it's like, in that case scenario, no, like I wouldn't be able to forgive that. Be like, yeah, let's just, pick up
Put our families
where
together.
we left off
Right.
before you started a family in another state.
If you decide that you want to give this relationship a shot after one of you has cheated, it really needs to be a reset to almost a blank slate. The most common thing that I see in my practice is that the partner who's cheated is basically always in the doghouse, and the person who didn't cheat is always suspicious of them, and that just ruins the dynamic for a long-term relationship. If you really decide to forgive the person, you really have to reset and give them your trust again, obviously, by discussing what happened in the past and making sure that there are ways that it doesn't happen again. But you do have to kind of start over and be able to be on the same and equal footing for this relationship to have a chance. I'm Dr. Judy, and this has been, well, in my opinion. Like and subscribe below. This episode is brought to you by Giddy, the source of sexual health and wellness news and information. If you have any sexual health or wellness questions, go to getmegiddy.com.